Hello, I wanted to talk to you about the 100-Day Project because I love it so much and I thought it might inspire some of you to join in. It starts this Sunday on the 13th. I think that's Sunday. I thought I would tell you about some of my past projects and some of the things that I've learned about those. And if you are interested in creating your own project, some tips on ways to create a project that will lead to success. So, the first year I did 100 stellar drawings, and that was a lot of fun. Any drawing that had stars in it counted. It could be like, I know some of the ones that I did were like the size of a quarter. I think I might have even like outlined a quarter and drew in that circle. So they were super tiny. And, but I found I got tired of drawing every day. I need to have more variety than that gave me. The second year was in 2020, and we all know what happened then. And we were spending a lot of time outside planting our orchard, and not as much time in the studio. So I did 100 days of rocks and trees. We were finding these beautiful rocks and planting trees. And so I took mostly photos of rocks and trees. Last year was absolutely amazing. I did 100 days of landscapes, and I allowed myself to just make anything I wanted that included a landscape. And it just, it expanded my creativity in ways that I absolutely loved. It made me feel most like the artist I wanted to be, and I feel like I'm still so inspired by the project that I did last year. And I was able to do paintings and drawings and jewelry, and I did some printmaking, and I made little magnets and painted wood rounds, and I started doing the composite photography because I wanted to give myself a way to do something outside of the studio, and being able to take photographs and combine photographs on my phone or the iPad was a way that I could still be creative, still fulfill the landscape and the project, but not have to be in my studio. So those are some things that really helped me to create a project that was most fulfilling and easy to accomplish. So when thinking about creating a project, I like to have a defined parameter and then have it be like wildly flexible within that. So basically the defined parameter that we all have is just a 100-day project. And that's even very flexible because you could decide that you want to do your 100 days within a year. Maybe you want to crochet a blanket and you're deciding to spend 100 days crocheting, but you're not going to do it every day, and that's okay. But maybe you still come up with a calendar that you mark off 100 days because that feels fun and important to you. I like to have the 100 days all in a row, all together. And for me, that means creating a variety. It means creating something that's super simple. And if there's a day that I'm tired or I don't feel well, or just like traveling, any number of things that like could go wrong, like your basement flooding, or like anything that happens that changes up your schedule and makes it so you are challenged to complete your project that day. Coming up with a small thing that can fulfill your project will mean that you can keep going, and that even if you only spent 30 seconds doing something for that day, you get to move on to the next day. And maybe you have a week where you just do really super simple things, and then you are able to get back into a creative space, or you get back home after traveling, whatever it is. So I think that's a really important thing to build into your project, is what can you do that is so simple and easy that still fulfills your project. And it could just be taking a photograph with your phone. That to me is like the absolute easiest. It can take you like a couple of seconds. If you're sick on the couch, you can take a photo with your phone. It's very easy. So for me, having a project that can include that is really helpful. You can also determine whether or not you want to share your project and how you would like to share it. For some people, like sharing it every day publicly is really important. They like the accountability. They like that other people might be following along, might be thinking of seeing their work, and that is really helpful for them. For other people, that is not helpful, and you probably know if you fall into one of those or in between category. Some people like to create their own account and just have like a 100-day project account that they only post in that account. They don't have anything connected to their regular account. It just feels like a nice little container to do that. And so that could be an option. You also don't have to share it with anyone. It can be like a completely personal project. Whatever, whatever feels like good for you, and maybe being secretive feels really fun and really inspired. You could do, 100 days of secret love letters, or, you could come up with a lot of different things that you don't want to share with people and have that still bring a lot of creativity and joy and fulfillment to your life. So to me, that's like what the project is about, is how can I expand my creativity? How can it be really satisfying and fulfilling for me as an artist, since I am a full-time artist. It is my job, it's my career, my work day is creating things. And this is a way for me to really expand and be experimental and be super creative. And that really works for me. Some people might want to practice something that, like, they're just starting to draw and they just think, I want to sketch every day for 100 days. It can take 30 seconds. I could sketch for an hour. I could do 5 sketches, or I can just do 1. Or I open up Procreate and I do a sketch on Procreate because I don't have any paper with me. And so I'm going to count that as sketching. And finding ways to adapt your project to be successful, I think, is super important. I love doing that. I love having something defined, but that's very flexible. And that's how I'm able to find success in my projects. I know that may not work for everyone. Some people might need to have something that's so much more defined and know that their life is very streamlined and that there are things in their life that are very regular. My life feels like it's like always changing. like I can't imagine what might be happening 100 days from now. Like, it could be very different. Like, I just have no idea. And so when setting up a project, I'm like, okay, how can I make this super flexible? How can I make it really easy on myself when I can't be in the studio, if I'm really busy or some, disasters happen? And that's part of the fun for me also, is like, I get to create my own rules, and I can also change the rules partway through if I want. Like, that's amazing. Like, how often do we really get to do that? So if you decide to join me, feel free to let me know what your project is and we can follow along with each other. If you are interested in sort of joining like a support group, I'm considering doing that. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And happy projecting!